Hi, this is Doug Sargent. Welcome to the Karst Valley Railroad. All aboard! So a few weeks ago I got bored and wanted to do some scenery. So I grabbed a piece of 124 millimeter Kato Unitrack and raided the spice cabinet and got some black pepper and some sage and some dill and started messing around with glue and the alcohol, trying to learn how to do it. Watched plenty of YouTube videos on it, but I thought I'd give it a shot for myself. Well, I did learn some things. That's the whole idea of experimentation. And here's what I came up with. Started out with some really cheap foam core board. That paper is so thin, a pencil cuts through it. So I decided to get the Mod Podge and just put some on that sheet. And then going to go ahead and put some on the bottom of the Unitrack. No, not on the bottom of the Unitrack, and just stick it right on there. So if I put it on the bottom of the Unitrack, those edges, it'd just be pain. So I just put that on there. And then to kind of seal the edges, I'm going to just run like a bead of glue down the edge. Like I said, this is a couple of weeks ago, and the camera was doing this autofocus thing. Hopefully, I've got the new camera app. Well, I'm just using my phone, and I can fix the focus on it. So everything is kind of back and forth. The other thing I wanted to try was having a sort of a siding is below the grade of the main line, right? So I wanted to put a strip on the side to build up the side as if that's a siding. And with this is 3/16 foam core board. It just happens to work out that the top of this second piece is just below the sleepers on the Unitrack. So it works out. And in another test I did, I had the siding embedded like this, and I was amazed. So I'm going to try to do that with the regular turnout, the 481. That makes a nice 2.5% grade down into the siding. So I took an old nose spray bottle, put the glue in it. Now, I thought, oh, salt, that's like ballasty. Okay, well, this is a bad idea. First of all, the water and the glue is going to dissolve the salt. And second, the salt is going to rot your rails out. So, not a good idea. Plus, it's really hard to work with. It got everywhere. And that nose spray thing, I cut a hole in it. It's, those have a little tube inside. And I thought, oh, I'll use that tube inside as like an eyedropper, a pipette. Well, I didn't do that in this, and you'll see why that was a bad idea. So now I'm going to try the black pepper. And black pepper looks really good when you just dump it on there. As a ballast, a nice dark ballast. But it's organic. And it smells. Now, I only sneezed a few times while I was doing this. Now I seen, putting down a layer of glue, especially with this little brush thing, that wasn't too bad. I'm not sure that it's very light, and I'm not quite sure how much grabbing power it had going on. It did slow down the slip a bit, but I really had to pile this stuff on, and this is not cost effective. So now I got this big hole, and you see it just dribbles everywhere. And this is the Mod Podge with some water and a little washing up liquid, but no alcohol in it. And you can see that either I don't have enough washing up liquid in it or something. It's just nasty. It did not absorb. Now, of course, the YouTube videos I've seen, they spray it down with the alcohol first, and then they have some alcohol and the glue, and everything just magically sets. They're spraying it on. This is just a mess. And like I said, the paper on this core, the foam core, is really thin, and that immediately started soaking in. Now the other thing is that because it's organic, all the coloring in the black pepper immediately started to leach into the white part, and that then started leaching into the foam core board. So now I got the timeout, a little grass or verge or whatever you want to call it, and I just kind of pinched it and ground it up a bit. And again, this is organic, and you know what? The organic stuff oxidizes. So I'm just smearing that old glue on. Now what I'm learning here about this foam core board, if I continue to use any just paper product, number one, I think I'm going to put down another sheet of just regular printer paper to strengthen it up a bit. And two, I'm going to spray some lacquer or some waterproofing material on it so that the liquid doesn't soak into it, because this stuff is like a sponge. And as you'll see later, it was looking pretty nasty. I just imagine that this organic stuff, apart from smelling, this really started to smell. No matter how good it looks right now, I think it was just going to start rotting. And the longer it goes, and as soon as it started, it was almost like a reaction. So here I am trying to put that same poor mixture of glue and water down on it. It's just not absorbing into that organic stuff. Now, I've never tried the regular static grass. I got some coming. So that's just a bad idea. So I had to go run around, and finally I tracked down the wife's rubbing alcohol. And so I had a bottle of that stuff. I've got another nose spray so that I can have the pipette-like thing for the alcohol. I'm going to try that next. This is awful. This is just adding more liquid to the sponge. And that's probably way too much alcohol. But with a bottle like that, there's not much I could do. Then the other glue, as you see there, I mixed some alcohol in with the glue, a little bit more washing up liquid, and now this stuff comes out and absorbs in there really nice. So if I get the right tools to do that and the right material, it's not going to be so bad. Well, there's that. And you can see the salt on the sleepers in between the rails. Clean up and then let it sit. It looks kind of nice, but I wouldn't do this because this stuff really started to smell. I mean, I smelled it for a couple of days. After a while, you can see the foam core warped. The pepper leached into the foam core, turned brown, darkened a lot, and the sage darkened. It's oxidizing. It's organic. It's actually burning. And I didn't hold the lighter to it. Now, that could be interesting in some cases, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, this took up my time, and I learned quite a few things about this. What I came away with was that I can work with this cheap foam board. I would not build a model out of it. It may not be structurally sound. I can do my sidings. Don't use salt. Don't use pepper. Don't use herbs. But I'm glad I did the experiment. Okay, well, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Dunk Sergeant, over and out.